we just saw like the most creative, innovative stream in a long time in this Mafiathon, and people are saying that that's not working. Like people were saying that that was mid, that was bad. And I think it starts with, and I don't know how y'all feel about it, that corporate integration that happened with Mafiathon. People were talking about how bad that was from a perspective of like creating good content. I think Kai pulled it off ultimately though, because he's still Kai. But how do y'all feel about the fact that in this Mafiathon, what is it? The top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the top 10 are coming from like a big, like gifters are coming from a big entity. Valorant, Snoop Dogg, eBay, Crocs, State Farm, Bose, T-Mobile.
I mean, to be so honest, I genuinely do not care, because this is what happens when you're at the top of the mountain. This is what happens when you get as big as Kai's gotten. You have to go mainstream. There is no more being small underground desktop streamer who is just doing things for the streets, for better wording of it or whatever it is. Like it has to be some type of corporate integration once you get to a certain level on top. That's just how it goes. To all these people that are treating Casanat how underground fans treat underground rappers once they get mainstream, like, is he just supposed to stay in this small bubble forever? Is he not supposed to want more, think bigger, dream bigger? Because the only way that happens is if you integrate corporate with what you're doing. This is the only way to make whatever he's trying to do in the future actually work. This is the only way for him to be able to achieve all the dreams that he has for himself. Like, yeah, he had humble beginnings. We all were there from the beginning and all that. Remember what it used to be like. Yesterday's price is not today's price. It's not 2023 no more. Things change. People scale up. People upgrade. I don't think he did a bad job. Now, did I watch it? No. But from the clips that I've seen, it seemed like a bunch of typical Kai Mafiathon stuff. Maybe because I wasn't watching full streams like everybody else that was watching it, maybe I didn't see all the downtime and the bad things that the major corporations had that was integrated with the Mafiathon stream, whatever it was. But from the outside looking in, it looked like he made the best of the situation he was in.
I think from a content perspective, I'm not even going to act like I watched a lot of Mafiathon 3. It probably wouldn't be my preference, but from like how he makes his money standpoint, it's probably
GG's.
Damn, finally.
I'm pretty sure y'all know this. Like a big criticism of
oh man,
you're cooked, buddy. Oh, you're back. Oh, he's back. He's back. You're back. You're back.
All right, where'd I leave off?
Really?
Shit, I heard everything. You just were frozen.
Oh, I was gonna say this is probably my preferred method of him making his money, because I'm pretty sure all of us know one of the biggest criticisms with Mafiathon 3 was being called a begathon, like begging, your followers to pay you money. Well, wouldn't like to counterpoint that or counteract that, wouldn't the preference be the money coming from big corporations and companies instead of, you know what I'm saying, Joe Schmo, who works a 9 to 5, who's a high school student, gifting the money? So
that's what I would think.
You don't think that affects the authenticity of the stream? And I'm just posing questions.
No, if I cut off when I said that, yeah, I said like from a content perspective, it definitely damages it, but I mean, that's the price you got to pay. So that you're not slutting your fucking young fan base out for money.
I'm about to say, I mean, to be honest, it could be non-authentic. That's fine. It's way more ethical, in my opinion. If we're trying to reach this crazy goal of 1 million subs, it seems way more ethical to involve companies and corporations to provide a bulk of those subs to reach that goal versus me asking what everyone perceives to be a bunch of 16-year-olds in this chat, getting them to use what? The part-time McDonald's money, part-time Chick-fil-A money they got to sub to me, using their parents' money, using birthday money. Like,
yeah, let Snoop Dogg pay the $50,000.
Yeah, let Snoop Dogg pay $50,000. Let Cuffham pay $20,000. Let these people who have the facilities to do this do that. Versus having whoever, Lil Johnny, spend his whole $200 check for 2 weeks on Mafiathon sub. That's crazy.
Let me ask Sage's, because if I remember his take on the whole botting question, do you think that there's something unethical about the way that this is shaken out for Kai? And I think this is my bigger point. Do you think that it's going to affect the future landscape as to how people go about doing their big streams or whatever the case may be? Hell, even small streams.
I hope it doesn't affect the future. Because again, as I've stayed beyond constant to stop trying to be Kai Cenat, please. This is something, it's not even about him specifically. I haven't explained why and for a long time. The reason why I'm tired of people trying to be him, imitate him in a way, is because what Kai Cenat is doing is new for people who aren't tapped into streaming. It's new for these industries. It's new for these people that are offering the State Farms, the McDonald's, the Chick-fil-A's, the Snoop Dogg's, the T-Pain's. It's new for them. All they know is like 10 streamers tops, and most of them only know 2, if not 1, and that 1 would be Kai. So I just don't like the idea of people seeing this version of it, for example, where big time players are donating towards the stream and thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna get somebody to do that for me, or I'm gonna get if I just collab with someone who averages 100 viewers like me, hey, at the end of the stream, just send me 5, 10 or whatever. That can be a culture, and some of it can be healthy, but I don't like doing it in faith of mirroring Kai. So hopefully that's not the case. In regards to, is it unethical? I believe this tracks. I could see how someone will literally say it doesn't. I don't think it's unethical because it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. In the case of Kai getting big time celebrities to donate for him, again, so what do you want him to do? Not be famous, not have a contract negotiation, not be able to be like, okay, cool. All right, so we hop on the stream, rather than pay you with this or whatever, I'm just going to send the subs to you. I'm going to help you boost the numbers. I mean, it'd be pretty weird if someone said no to that in terms of a subscription goal per se, or whatever the case may be. Or even if it wasn't necessarily scripted, probably was. But let's say it wasn't, right? Even then, the idea of like, what do you do about that? If Snoop Dogg just pulls up to your stream one day and he's like, fuck it, I'm going to super chat 2 bands. Like, I guess you had a Mickey Mouse month. If you want to call Mafiathon Mickey for that, go for it. But he can't really do anything about that. It's a good problem to have, but he can't really do anything about that. Versus botting, I mean, those aren't even people.
If you were to give like a 1-sentence answer, just like your quick explanation as to why you think that the perception of Mafiathon was underwhelming, because I can remember one, and everybody was up. Everybody was like kind of glued in. Like even the low key, like I don't care about this type situations. Group chats were going, hey man, it's close. He's close to hitting this. Da 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 da. The emotions felt real on the screen. It felt different on the screen. But it just didn't feel the same way this time. If you could give an explanation as to why that is the case, what would it be, B Souls?
1 sentence, bar too high. That's what I've been saying this whole time whenever we have these conversations. The bar is set too high for Kai. The bar is set too high for the industry. These special events that used to feel extremely special do not feel special anymore. And it's unfortunate because I understand like the creativity and resources that Kai is putting into this, but that's just how the viewer feels. So,
Damo?
Yeah, mine's kind of times up with Souls. I would say fatigue. People are fatigued. This past year and a half, you could think of a plethora of different big streaming events and all this other stuff that's going on, which, if to my knowledge in previous years, it just wasn't as much. And not even necessarily just from Kai, even though Kai has had big events back to back to back. Just people that are Kai adjacent are also having big events right after his events. They're scheduling their events around his events. After Mafiathon, there's going to be goddamn Funny Mike-a-thon 12. Like someone's doing something like right after Kai hits in stream. Somebody else is starting their thing. It's fatigue.
Sage?
He did it his way. He did it in a unique way. Obviously, the way that he got his subs, you could argue just surface level people are going to call Mickey. He had, rather than the biggest names possible, he brought names of celebrities that either had a mutual interest for, or he just was there with his boys, there with the streamers that he's worked with and stuff like that, versus getting the popular IPs all over the place. He basically did it in a way that only he could do it, rather than something that is relatable to many people, even streamers.
Yeah, I think that, you know, for me, I look at the biggest streamers, the biggest content creators, because they kind of dictate the landscape for everybody else. And you know, what I want people to understand is that like this is not what you should be striving to do. Sage said, striving to be Kai Cenat should not be a plan.
Don't kill yourself.
You're going to
And
go
In
insane.
GTA.
I did think that that's what a lot of these groups are doing, are these new up and coming streamers. That's why I'm critical of like DDG and India Love. You see it, but you're not really understanding. When we talk about basketball with somebody, and then we're like, oh, you just don't know ball, or you don't watch ball, or whatever, and they say like, oh, no, I watch it. Well, you don't know what you're watching. I think a lot of people suffer from that, is that they're looking at some of the top guys and just don't even understand what they're watching. So then they do a bad job of replicating.
That happens.
And that shit right there is what's gonna burn out a lot of the industry, a lot of the people, a lot of the sponsors, just a lot of everything.
You don't think DDG has a better chance than like us though? Because he's like actually in the circle, like he knows Kai, he can call up Kai, like ask him questions, this, that, and the third. And I'm pretty sure he has. Like if I had to put money on it.
Yeah, the power back on it, I do think DDG, for whether we think what he's currently doing is a mistake or not, this is a guy that does understand social media. No matter,
I think DDG does, but I think the idea, like the takeaway of just, oh, we'll just make a group, and it's this type of group, is probably not it. And I can low key see that just off of just even the 3 or 4 people that I do know of the group. It's just not even it. And mind you, like Amo said, DDG's had a group way before Kai has been a part of any specific group. Ultimately, I just think that people are looking at Kai for answers, and especially after streaming university and going into streaming university. If you are looking at Kai for 100%, 1,000% answers as to how to create your content, and you're going to replicate, you're going to lose. You are going to lose. It's unsustainable. Like it literally is unsustainable.
Furthermore, I think I had a brain fart earlier and said, unfortunately, at the end of one of them. I hope it works, to be honest. I'm not personally a fan of like the style of content, but they wouldn't care further. But I hope it works. I mean, I like to see new streamers in maybe, I guess, multiple ways for everybody to get a bag, to get content off per se. I'm just skeptic of, are they dedicated to the cause? Or are there still just going to be a ton of star-powered individuals within a group per se? Because I think it'll be easy for DDG and Dub. They're literally brothers, I want to say. But when it comes to everybody else, are they still going to be known as blank, or are they going to be known as, what was the name? Capholics. Are they still going to be known as Capholics?
Yeah, Sage, we're on different ends of the spectrum. I don't want this shit to work out at all. I'm wishing nothing but downfall on this project, because if it does succeed, all it is going to do is spawn replicas of this idea. And if people think the new meta is to get a bunch of niggas together and just bring bitches around, I am fearful for what content will look like in 5 years' time. Because streaming is just a copycat sport. It's worse than the NBA when it comes to that.
Not a lot of people can do that, though.
A lot of people can. First of all, that is not true. You are underestimating niggas' abilities to just bring bitches around for clout, money, or whatever means they got. Niggas can't. If niggas want to find a way to bring the bitches around, they will get the bitches around. Now, what quality of bitches is niggas? Yeah. I'm about to say, now what quality of bitches is going to be around? There will be, for every India Love, there's going to be 17 Krishan Rocks. And that is my fear. That is what I'm scared of. There's going to be 17 miniature Capaholics, but the bitches they bring around aren't going to be Quinn, whatever the girl was that was just a Mafiathon. It's going to be Krishan Rock. Like, it's going to be Zeus women.
Even walking out of his like
my ball thing.
Recent, yeah, my ball thing. Who was the woman that stood out?
No, none of them. India Love.
I don't.
You wasn't even there.
I don't know.
She showed up at the end and ruined it.
I heard there was a ton of stuff that went down with India and a couple of contestants, but I don't know if one of the contestants is like now like a stay in the female streaming sphere. But furthermore, that's what kind of sucks about
some women that try to go that route of like being on XYZ stream and then doing your own thing. Unfortunately, the way that the Twitch audience is, they always try to tie you to the guy's name. I am all for female streamers doing their own thing first. I actually think streamers, English is hard, joining a group for them, I actually hardcore disagree. I think
I
they
don't
should
know.
stay far away.
Now that I'm thinking about it, like I get why we're saying trying to replicate Kai is dumb, but I also feel like for the space to innovate and push forward, like someone got to do it. Someone got to be delusional to think that they can. So
I've been saying at the start of all of these segments, nobody's gonna clip this, but if they were at the start of all these segments, I've always said he is in the 1%. And not only that, but Souls brought up a good point. He can call Kai. So if there is somebody to do it, he's one of the names to bring it up.
But he doesn't have the means. He doesn't have the means to truly do it. And I'm glad Omar brought up the My Ball thing. Even after that, the nigga committed to playing what you call it? Red Dead. He committed to playing Red Dead 2. What happens? He calls Casanat. Kai tells him on stream, in 4K, yo, gang, I'm not gonna lie, that game is good. This will be good for you and your community. This is something you should do. That nigga sat there and said, 4,000, Kai streaming. We gonna continue this off stream, chat.
Like, unfortunately, unironically, like the opposite of what I say there, though, because some people get caught up in the numbers so badly that even when Kai tells you to do something, you can't do it. So
but that shows me he's one of those people. Yeah, but again, him walking away from the mob ball thing and telling the world this was not a success for me based off the metrics I had. He has a vision on what success is to him numbers wise, and if he doesn't meet that, or if it's not trending towards that, he's going to view it as a failure. Right there, I would say already is putting you in the negative. Like, you're already off to a bad start when it comes to this. And so, as I disagree, for somebody to surpass where Kai is, they don't need to do more Kai Cenat like things. They need to be different. That's what made the last couple of great explosions, I guess, from streamers in the last couple of years. It wasn't from anybody in the same niches or the same realm for depending on what you want to say. But when Sketch blew up, who was he replicating? When Queso blew up, who was he replicating? Or were they being authentically themselves? Somebody saying Speed. I'm talking about after Speeds. After Speed and Kai and Aiden established themselves as the biggest streamers. They were huge. To blow up as a streamer, you felt you had to do one of those things, what they're doing. And we've seen two people blow up on massive scales that did nothing like that. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take people being authentically themselves, being creative, being funny, being entertaining, and that just trickling to a snowball effect of them becoming so huge. I don't think you have to copy, Kai did Streamer U, Funny and Mike did Streamer Prom, Streamer Homecoming on the way. Like, no, gang. That's
I'm not saying anyone should copy Kai. Like, I just think there's a difference between us not thinking DDG is that guy that can be bigger than Kai, and like the conversation about should he have the mentality that he can beat or surpass Kai. Because I think that was one of our original points is, hey man, Kai's Kai, don't even try it type shit. And I just for the streaming universe, the streaming industry to push forward, someone has to be delusional enough to think, yo, I can't be that guy. I can't be number one. I can succeed and do bigger things than Kai Cenat. I think like Blackboy Max actually is one of the ones that's been pretty vocal about like, yo, I'm trying to be number one, like full stop. So
yeah, and then those conversations then turn into why is everything always a contest? Yeah. But I agree with that. To be fair, I do agree with that. Somebody.
I don't know. I'm curious just to see what people's takeaways from this Mafiathon are in action, not necessarily just like thoughts. I share my thoughts, dim a little video, but based off of how people do it, I would love to see that.